Hello, I'm David Bohnert, Ruminant Nutritionist and Extension Beef Cattle Specialist with Oregon State University and the Eastern Oregon Agricultural Research Center, and I'm here to present an Eastern Oregon Ag Minute. It is getting to be the time of year when most of us are about to start our winter feeding programs, and with the cost of hay this year, we will all want to find ways to reduce our feed costs. This week, I will provide some management options that you may find useful when feeding your cows this winter. Topics that I will address include getting your feedstuffs tested for nutrient content and knowing your cow's nutrient requirements, efficient ways to feed round bales, limit feeding, and infrequent supplementation of protein. The first thing that we can do to help reduce feed costs and stretch our limited hay supply is to feed just enough feed to meet our cow's requirements. In order to do this, we need to know two things. What is the nutrient content of our hay and other feedstuffs that we plan on using, and what is the nutritional requirements, specifically energy and protein, of our cows. To obtain the nutrient content of your feed, you will need to send a representative sample off to a reputable lab, which normally costs $15 to $30, which will be money well spent. A table of your cow's nutrient requirements can be obtained from your extension agent or beef specialist. With this information, we can formulate a diet that will meet a cow's needs without over or underfeeding. In addition, this will allow us to separate our cow herd into groups, such as old and young cows or thin and heavy cows, to allow a better control over intake and performance. For assistance in setting up a winter feeding program, feel free to contact your local county extension agent or give me a call at the Eastern Oregon Ag Research Center. An interesting study out of North Dakota last year compared three methods of feeding round bales. The feeding methods used in the 3-year study were rolling the round bales out on the ground, using a bale chopper and feeding on the ground the way most of us do here in Eastern Oregon, and using a tapered cone round bale feeder. The 360 cows used in the study were in the last trimester of pregnancy, which would be January through March for most spring calving producers. In addition, the researchers reported economics for 100 cow and 300 cow operations. Feeding bales in the tapered cone feeder increased cow weight gain by 36% and reduced the amount of hay offered by 10% compared with chopping or rolling the bales out. The reduced hay offered was because of less waste associated with the tapered cone feeder. Overall, for the 3-year study, using the tapered cone round bale feeder reduced winter feed costs by 21% for the 100 cow herd and 18% for the 300 cow herd compared with using the bale chopper. With forage and hay prices high due to limited availability like they are now, producers should consider limit feeding cows. The basic principle is to feed an energy-dense feedstuff such as distilled dried grains, corn, or barley as a substitute for a portion of the hay fed. Normally 1 pound of a high-energy feed replaces 1.5 to 2 pounds of forage. As discussed on Tuesday, provide just enough feed to meet the cow's requirements for a targeted level of performance. This type of program is referred to as limit feeding because the amount of feed provided is much less than the amount of hay or grass normally fed, and the cows will be hungry, even though their requirements are still being met. Skill and extreme caution is required by the herd manager because limit feeding, if not managed properly, can result in health disorders such as acidosis, bloat, or founder. Be sure and contact a ruminant nutritionist or extension agent prior to initiating a limit feeding program. However, if carried out properly, limit feeding can decrease winter feed costs by up to 50% compared with traditional hay feeding. Most cows in Eastern Oregon consume forages low in crude protein from late summer through the winter. As a result, they sometimes require some form of crude protein supplementation to maintain cow body condition score, develop a strong and healthy calf, and to rebreed in the spring. However, this is expensive, and cow-calf producers should choose a supplement carefully. Considerations include determining the cost per pound of protein, what special equipment or facilities are necessary, and you prefer a self-fed or hand-fed supplement. Another expense associated with protein supplementation is the labor and fuel associated with supplement delivery. Research conducted at the Eastern Oregon Ag Research Center has shown that infrequently providing supplemental protein results in performance similar to daily supplementation. For example, if you provide 14 pounds of alfalfa on Tuesdays and Fridays, cow performance will be similar to feeding 4 pounds of alfalfa every day. This will reduce labor and fuel costs by approximately 70% compared with daily supplementation. I hope you have found this information useful